Praise Jesus. My name is Angel, but I think I'll give my full introductions at the end. Today I wanted to share with you something that the Lord had put on my heart. And if you do not mind, I'm going to be using my father's life, that is Dr. John Mulinde, as a testimony or as a walkthrough, as a course through of this sharing. And what is the sharing? Some time back, as I was praying, the Lord showed me something, and He called it a roadmap to revival. A roadmap, literally a roadmap. And there's so many things in this. It's like a whole course, different pointers, different points, let me say. And He was showing me all these different stops, and they would be leading to revival. Now I know we've spoken about revival over and over again. I know we've spoken about it coming. I know we've spoken about it being here. I know we've witnessed a glimpse of it. We've witnessed seeds and sprouts of it, But I do not think we've experienced the full course of revival. And I'm going to say from the time I do not know, for as long as I know, as I've been growing up, the Lord has given us glimpses, gates, seasons where He has given us but a sprout of His revival. And our fathers, I remember I was speaking to one of our fathers in the land, and he said, we have prayed for revival. We have prayed, we have fasted, we have given our lives for revival. And he's like, I do not know what is going to bring it. And immediately, the minute he said that, I was reminded of this. I pray that you just bear with me. I pray that you just take some time and just follow through with me. I promise you, you will but be blessed by what I'm about to share. So, as a country, we have prayed for revival. And again, it has sprouted. I'm going to say we have witnessed breakthroughs. We have witnessed the Lord shaking. The Lord shaking. And we have witnessed, I'm going to say, revival, the beginnings of revival. But I don't think we have yet experienced the full course of it in quite a long time. I'm not going to say we've never experienced it. I'm going to say it's been quite a while since we've experienced a full course, like the beginning, the middle, and the end. And we testify this is what the Lord was saying, and we've seen it to the very end. It oftentimes dwindles away before running its full course. Now, me as a person, my spiritual life, the Lord has been using my father in my life. I cannot speak for other people, but I know for a fact, without a doubt, that He's been speaking to me, showing me but a glimpse of the spiritual life of Uganda as a country through my father's physical life. I don't know if that makes sense, but when he would be sick, oftentimes when I would be praying for him, He would lead me to pray for Uganda, and then He would start to show me the different ways in which we are sick. And I would pray for that, and then somehow my father would be fine. I know, of course, I wasn't praying alone. There are very many people out there who are praying with me, but I can say that He has shown me, He's been teaching me the spiritual life of Uganda, and dare I say, through my father's life and myself. Sometimes, especially, I'm going to say, as I've been growing up more, I've been seeing it in my very life as well, where you know what you have to pray for even before you do, by seeing your life. But speaking about my father's life, my father has been sick for quite a while. My father has been sick, I think when he shared, it started in 2015, when they got a problem with his pancreas one time, but it was for a short period. Then the next, I think they treated it, to the best of their ability at the time. Then there was a problem with the pancreas, then there was this, then there was that. Before he knew it, he had problems with his stomach linings. Before then there was a time when it just full on blew out into diabetes. Then it then went into pancreatitis. No, actually, it went into cancer. Um, Pancreatitis cancer, something like pancreatic cancer, and then it just kept on going, and he's had multiple surgeries and treatments on his body just to treat him. Now let me break this down a little bit. Bear with me, please follow with me. I promise I'm going somewhere. See, each time that my father had a situation, that my father's life was in pain, let me say his stomach linings and ulcers and all these things had reached a maximum, or appendicitis, and it's reached a place where you have no solution right now, we need to operate you. He would go in and they would study him in detail. And in all honesty, the doctors would affirm, if we treat this, if we treat your stomach linings, if we treat ulcers, if we treat this appendicitis, if we remove the appendix, you are going to be fine. You are going to get well. And of course, this is going to be, it's not going to be a cheap thing. It's not going to be cheap. It's going to be exhausting emotionally, physically, spiritually, because it means he has to go through all these things, let alone the rest of us. The rest of us are going to go through all these emotions. And you have to pray for him. You would give your all. I do not know about everybody else, but I for one would know, even when he doesn't tell me, even when he would not inform me, the minute I would know that my father isn't well, my father is going for this kind of procedure, I would get down, I would pray. You give your all to pray for this, and I'm not even going to talk about the financial cost it would take him to treat all these different things. And at the end of, let me say, one surgery, at the end of, say, appendix removal, for sure, for certain, he would feel better. He would feel better. He would, for a time period, the pain would have gone down. Of course, there's going to be the pain of surgery. That is a take. But I'm talking about like his health before, the pains that he was feeling, discomfort, this and that. It would go down. And for a time period, you would say this was a success. And yet, before you know it, some time has passed and we are back in hospitals. He's doing more tests. There is this and that going on in his body. And the Lord was showing me, you do not know, but the very breakthrough of you, of him going, and they realize everything is starting from the pancreas. That is your original problem. That was your problem from the beginning. Everything that was happening, all these organs that were disturbing you, the only problem was their pancreas. But because no one diagnosed it, no one realized it, it went on affecting all these different organs, and they kept on treating all these different things, but not actually reaching the pancreas, not actually realizing that the actual problem is the pancreas and not everything else. So what would happen then? He realized it was the pancreas. Of course, at the time it was too late, and it had gone into cancer. And we all know the testimony that the Lord gave us, treating cancer, all that whole journey. If you do not know it, I urge you to please take some time and just go and look for that testimony. It was this very around February when my father shared. I think it was April when he shared about it. But going back to this, so the Lord was showing me something right after. You see, after they realized, the problem was the pancreas, or it is too late right now. It has it has grown, it is cancer, and then the Lord works a miracle in his very life, and they say, okay, now it is no longer cancer, it is now autoimmune disease, and now they were treating autoimmune disease, and they're directly addressing autoimmune disease, and his life has changed in a way that I cannot explain. And so now I'm going to bring it back to the time when he was in India. It was a roller coaster. This was the scariest I've ever felt, where I felt like I am praying, and I am scared, but I'm praying. And we would give all this time to pray. My husband is my witness. One time I was praying, and then the Lord brought back and he said, pray for Uganda. And it has never been so hard for me to pray for Uganda as it was that time. Because in my mind, I felt like, this is not the time. I'm going to pray. Let me just give me a moment. Let me just do this. And he kept urging me to pray for Uganda. And we did. I remember I was praying with a group of people, the Chisenyes, some lovely people, a family from Germany, my sister, my husband. It was a group of people that we were with. Anyways, so after he gets healed, I'm now cutting things short. After he gets healed, the Lord starts to take me through this journey. And he was saying, the very same way this has been a roller coaster, so it is for Uganda. I was speaking to one of the fathers in the lands, a very good friend of my father, Pastor Chimoli, and he was saying, we have prayed for revival. We have fasted for revival. We have given our lives just begging and pleading and calling down revival. I do not know what it's going to take to see that revival. And the minute he said it, the Lord started to remind me of this whole journey. And I remember I shared it with him, but not in detail. It's like, for years and years, it is true. We have seen a problem. We have seen our Uganda. We have known where Uganda has to be. We have seen the different times, because each and every time that the Lord has given us but a glimpse of revival, it has been at a time when Uganda is going down the drain. When there's so much killings, when there's so much hatred, when there's so much bloodshed, when there's so much corruption, when there's just so much shakings, death. And we would go before the Lord and he would give us but a breakthrough, but it would be a glimpse and we would never see it to run its full course. And so our hearts stay longing for that, our hearts stay yearning, and yet somehow it is gone. And so he was saying, for years and years, we keep on treating symptoms. We kept on treating symptoms. We see a symptom. We see the pancreatitis. We see appendicitis. We treat it. We see ulcers, stomach lining, acid. We treat that. We see. Do you get what I'm trying to say? We would go and we would give our all, time and time and again, for bad symptoms. And for some reason, we have not diagnosed the pancreatitis as a problem that dwindles away our revival in Uganda. That for some reason, we have not actually diagnosed the root problem. I don't know how else to call it. The root cause, the issue that is deep within, that keeps on bringing reoccurrences that dwindle away our breakthroughs. And he was just saying, can you just take time to break that out? This season, this time, I'm saying your eyes are going to be open. There is a grace that I'm giving for you to but find out the root cause, that once you find it out, it will change the game forever. And yes, it might be but a struggle. It might lead you to thinking, having to give but your all. It may lead you to thinking we are at a dead end, we are at a cancerous stage. But guess what? Right at that point, I am there. I am going to be there to change, to heal in a way that no man can take credit for but me. All I ask for you to do is to take a time to come unto me right now. Do not give up on the revival that I'm speaking about, because guess what? I have spoken and I have said, and his word is not in vain. He has spoken and he has said that this season he is letting out a grace for revival to sprout forth from Uganda, to spread out into the nations. And my brothers, my sisters, we cannot say that we have seen that yet. We have seen seeds of it, we have seen sprouts of it, we have seen beginning glimpses, and we have indeed witnessed to a certain extent. But let us stay in a place where we keep digging and digging until this time it runs its full course. We see everything that he speaks. We see that actual depth of what he's saying. My revival holds. Because if we do not do that, then it's going to be but another one of the other ones where it starts out, we witness something, we say this is it, and yet for some reason it dwindles away. Aren't we tired? Aren't we tired of it dwindling away? Aren't we tired of us reaching places and we think we've gotten but what we need, and yet somehow 2-3 years ahead we are going to be in the same place yet again? Aren't we tired of that cycle? Aren't we tired? Can't we be jealous for the revival that we are supposed to walk into, that's supposed to run a full course, that the nations are supposed to say yes, yes, this is what the Lord is speaking about? Aren't we tired? There is a place that we need to go back into, and the Lord is saying, I have availed the grace this season for you to see what has not been diagnosed for years and years, what has been missed by experts. You see, he had been going to experts, people that know what they're doing, years and years again, people that are anointed and are blessed and are, I don't know how else to say it. They have walked, they have prayed, they have given everything, they have fasted, they have groaned for revival, and yet he is saying, in this season I am availing the grace for you to diagnose the unseen, the root cause. If you are not tired of these cycles, then this word is not for you. If you are not tired of the emotional roller coaster, of the ups and downs, of the strains, of the cries, of the sadness, of the explosions of pain that you are not ready for, if you are not tired of these cycles, this word is not for you. But if you are, then rise up, my beloved. Do not tire. Do not think that this is but the end, that you have seen all that the Lord had spoken for this season. And go back there. Go back into the closets. Let's go back into the closets and let's diagnose the unseen. Let's break open this jar and let us be but witnesses, a part of that hasn't been seen for years. Let us witness that hasn't been seen for years, my brothers, my sisters. Let us do it. Let's break through. And this time it's different because there is the grace. I pray this finds someone out there who truly yearns to see that, who is tired of everything else, who is tired of glimpses. I pray this finds you. And my God, my Father, may it find the people that desire it. May you move it in a way that I cannot. I love you all. And I wish and I pray that we would stand together. That we would stand together to birth our promise. For the time has not yet ended. The season is not yet over. It's time for us to just prune ourselves. Prune ourselves. May the Lord be with you. May His shalom guide you. May there be a fire that starts within you, that stirs up. I love you all. My name is Angel Mulinde Musoke, daughter of Dr. John Mulinde and married to a wonderful Mr. Jeremiah Musoke. I really pray that we would pray together, that we would break through together, we would be witnesses together. Shalom, shalom.